Okay, good morning, friends. Now we are discussing Pascal's law, hydrostatic law, and pressure measurement in this class. What is Pascal's law? So it states that the intensity of pressure at any point in fluid which is in the state of rest, that is the static mass of the fluid. So the intensity of pressure is same in all the directions. So, if you take all the three directions x, y and z, if P is the pressure intensity, then according to Pascal's law it is Px is equal to Py, that is equal to Pz. So referring to the figure here, so the pressure at any point in a fluid is equal in all the directions. So here the pressure applied onto a small piston, so having the area of 1 square inch. Here, so the same amount of pressure is acting on this part, so which is having the larger area. So one more sketch here is so I have a ball here. So the external pressure is applied on this ball. So the pressure is applied on one point of liquid. So the ball is having liquid inside. So the pressure applied on one point of the liquid will transmit equally in all the directions. Now, hydrostatic law. So, it states that the rate of increase of the pressure, so that is as you go inside the liquid, so the intensity of pressure is keep on increasing. So, the rate of increase of pressure in vertically downward direction will be equal to the weight density of the fluid at that point. So, to prove this hydrostatic law, we are taking one elementary area here. One elementary area here. So, let the elementary area will be having the cross-sectional area for delta A, right? So, delta A here. So, dz is the height of the fluid element. So, the height of this fluid element is delta Z. So P is the pressure applied by the surrounding fluid. So now the pressure force is now P into delta A. So pressure is equal to force by area. So pressure force is pressure into area. So P into delta A. So we have an upward thrust by the surrounding fluid. So it is P plus del P by del Z into dz dA. So then Z is the distance of the fluid element. So this fluid element under consideration is at a distance of Z from the free surface of the liquid. So this element is at a distance of Z from the free surface of the liquid. So upward thrust is considered as now P plus del P by del Z of dz. So multiplied this pressure multiplied by the area of the fluid element. So that is delta A. Now the force is acting on the fluid element. So pressure force on the face AB. So that is nothing but P into delta A. So P into delta A. So that is acting perpendicular to the face AB in the vertical downward direction. Now, if you consider the upward thrust here by the surrounding fluid, so it is P plus del P by del Z of dz multiplied by the area of the element. So pressure is P plus del P by del Z of dz into area of the element. So pressure is equal to force by area. So pressure force is pressure into area. So that is acting perpendicular to the face CD here. So CD is the face here perpendicular to CD and it is acting in upward, vertically upward direction. Now I have weight of the fluid element. So weight of the fluid element, so weight density is equal to weight by volume. So my weight is equal to weight density. Weight density is omega is equal to mass density into g, that we have already studied. So omega into g. So that is weight density into volume of the fluid element. So area of the fluid element is delta A and the height of the fluid element is delta Z. So area into height of the fluid element. So delta A into delta Z. So now the pressure forces on the face BC and AD. So B right are equal and opposite by your Pascal's law. Now considering all the forces acting on the fluid element, so to keep the fluid in element in equilibrium, taking the summation of all the forces and equating to 0. So PdA, so that is nothing but the force acting in the downward direction, and this P plus del P by del Z of dz dA, that is acting in the upward direction. So taking the forces acting in downward direction are P delta A and this weight of the fluid element. So that is rho g into delta A into delta Z. So these are having one same sign. The upward thrust is having the other sign. So considering the upward force is minus here and the downward forces as plus, taking the summation equated to 0. So simplifying, I have del P by del Z of rho into G. So del P by del Z of rho into G. So rho into G is nothing but weight density of the fluid. So this is for the one single fluid under consideration. Integrating the expression will get the total pressure acting on the entire fluid element. So we have P is equal to rho g Z. Integration of integration of del P by del Z. So integration of rho g. So taking del Z to the other side, we have integration of rho g into del Z. Integration of rho P is nothing but P. So P is equal to, okay, integration of rho g del Z. So rho g are constant, taking outside the integration of del Z. So that is Z. So P is equal to rho g Z. So that is hydrostatic law. So P is equal to rho g Z. So it is asked to note here that 1 bar is equal to 10.33 meter of water. So that is the pressure, or equivalent to 760 millimeter of mercury. Pressure measurement. So we have various devices used to measure the pressure. So manometers and mechanical gauges. So manometers are the devices to measure the pressure. So they are balancing one column of liquid by the same liquid in the other column. Then mechanical gauges. So they are containing an elastic element, so that this elastic element gets deflected under the action of the pressure applied. So this pressure applied will be indicated by the needle. So that is a pointer and the graduated scale. So we have different mechanical gauges to measure the pressure. Diaphragm pressure gauge, deadweight pressure gauge, Bourdon tube pressure gauge and bellow pressure gauge. Thank you, friends.